Summer, the company offered to sell the U.S. government more doses, but the Trump administration turned them down. The administration insisting that because of other vaccines in the pipeline, any American who wants a vaccine can get one by July.
ABC's Kenneth Moten. President-elect Biden tapping retired four-star General Lloyd Austin to head up the Pentagon. If confirmed, he would be the country's first black defense secretary. Chuck Yeager, the first pilot to break the sound barrier, has died at the age of 97. Over 70 years ago, he made history.
Finally, on October the 14th, 47, we succeeded in pushing through Mach 1 and opened up space to us.
It was 40 years ago tonight that John Lennon was shot and killed here in New York City.
Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going.
His fellow Beatle Ringo Starr asking every music radio station in the world to play Strawberry Fields Forever at some point today. You're listening to ABC News.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I think this stuff works. I don't seem to have the highs and the lows. You know how sometimes you get real slow and low during the day, and I'm a type A guy, so I go a lot. And I'm more alert, and it seems like I don't seem to feel famished. And it's not very expensive. And the idea of having that freeze-dried or that nutrient in that capsule, and who's going to eat all those vegetables? You know, most of us don't eat right anyway. So whatever the science behind this, I think Balance of Nature is a great idea. And I'm going to probably stay with it until I drop.
Get a wide variety of all your daily recommended servings of whole fruits and vegetables without having to leave your home. Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com and use discount code FRUITS.
The struggle over another stimulus package continues in Washington. A bipartisan group of lawmakers has come up with one worth a little over $900 billion. But so far, it's not been able to drum up enough support on Capitol Hill, one of the big sticking points, state and local aid and liability for governments. The Chamber of Commerce, writing to lawmakers, says without more help, more small businesses across the country will close. Over 100,000 restaurants nationwide have already shut down. And in New York City,
the Partnership for New York City is now estimating that roughly 1/3 of the city's 240,000 small businesses might not make it to the post-vaccine promised land, as they put it. The reason being, they aren't going to see the business. There's just no way that you're going to get the kind of foot traffic that would be necessary to keep your doors open with weather like the kind of weather that we're experiencing.
ABC News Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis here in New York. For a second time, a federal judge has blocked a Trump administration move to effectively shut down TikTok. The White House says Chinese ownership of the app poses a national security risk. And Mount Everest has gotten a little taller. For years, China and Nepal have been at odds over how tall the world's tallest peak, which sits on their border, really is. Well, now the two countries have officially settled on a height of just under 29,031 feet. It's a little taller than Nepal's previous measurement and 13 feet higher than China's. This is ABC News.
For over 40 years, Ray Reynolds has helped customers get millions in credit. It's no wonder why they call him the godfather of credit. Ray Reynolds will get your score above 720. Do you need $50,000 of corporate credit? By using corporate credit, you can finance a business, buy real estate and stock under a corporation. Now you can meet Ray Reynolds on his daily webinar at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Go to rayswebinar.com and check out his free, very informative webinar or call 800-490-4140 now. That's rayswebinar.com or call 800-490-4140.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
You know, folks are saying once you've used a Massey Ferguson, you won't ever want another tractor. They're tough, versatile, and dependable. And now with the change of season special at NC Tractor and Farm Supply, you'll be wise to get your special deal. Our tractors have been running in families for generations. Ask about the Phil Sheehan Fall Special going on right now. NC Tractor, 299 Railroad Avenue, Rutherfordton. Call 288-0395.
Expect brilliant sunshine today, all thanks to our high-pressure system that's dominating our conditions. We are going to see a little bit of breezy conditions, but high temperatures are going to head into the mid to upper 40s. Tonight, with lighter wind speeds and mostly clear skies, our temperatures are going to cool off quickly down into the upper 20s and lower 30s. We are going to see temperatures slightly warmer tomorrow afternoon in the low to mid 50s with high clouds around. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
We're starting out in the freezer locker this morning. 28 degrees is where we are right now, but we should be warming up nicely to about 49 and sunny skies today. As a matter of fact, sunny skies all this week until we get to Saturday evening. There may be a slight chance of some shower activity, maybe 30% on Saturday night and 20% early Sunday morning, but then it goes away and we'll have mostly sunny skies again the first of the week. Again, right now it's a great getting up morning here in the foothills. 28 degrees here at WCAB in Rutherfordton. And we welcome you to the second hour of the morning wake-up call. So happy to have you with us on this Tuesday morning. Counting down the days. Christmas time is coming. Coming pretty soon. I have these death announcements this morning. Mr. Johnny Lee Rainbow Sisk, 70, of Forest City, died Friday, December 4th at hospice of the Carolina foothills. A graveside service will be conducted at 2 o'clock today at Robertson Creek Free Will Baptist Church Cemetery. Reverend Colby Davis will officiate. Washburn and Dorsey Funeral and Cremation Service is in charge of the arrangements for Mr. Johnny Lee Rainbow Sisk. David J. Atkins, age 74, of Forest City, passed away Saturday, December 5th at Hospice House of the Carolina foothills. The family will receive friends on Thursday, December the 10th from 11 a.m. until 12 noon at McMahon's Funeral Home. The memorial service at McMahon's Chapel will be at 12 noon Thursday, December 10th, with Reverend John McDaniel officiating. The Rutherford County Honor Guard will render military rites for Mr. Atkins following the service on the grounds of the funeral home. McMahon's Funeral Home and Cremation Services in charge of the arrangements for David J. Atkins of Forest City. Van Austin Hoyle, Sr., 72, of South Thompson Street, Shelby, passed away on Saturday, December 5th, at his residence. The family will receive friends Thursday, December 10th, from 1 until 2 at Danieltown Baptist Church. A memorial service will be held on Thursday, December 10th, at 2 o'clock at Danieltown Baptist Church with Reverend Creighton Lovelace officiating. Due to COVID-19 restrictions, masks and social distancing will be required. The burial will follow the service in the church cemetery. A guest register is available at www.stameysingerfuneralhome.com for Mr. Van Austin Hoyle, Sr. Those are the death announcements we have this morning in-house. Complete information on these and others as they become available to us can be heard this morning at 11:35 and then again at 5:10 as part of the afternoon report here on WCAB in Rutherfordton. Well, this note from the Rutherford County Library System. They're seeking input for new strategic planning. As the county library system develops its next multi-year strategic plan, it is seeking input from community members to help guide the future of the county, the Haynes, and Mountain libraries. Library Director April Young said the strategic plan is important because it shapes the direction and focus of the library's endeavors and outlines measurable goals and objectives. All citizens are invited to participate by completing a short survey, even if they are not current library users. The survey can be found on the Rutherford County Library System's website at rutherfordcountylibrary.org or on the Facebook page at Rutherford County Library. Rush Limbaugh Morning Update is next. Then we'll get to the Chronicles of the Old West and get right into our phone calls for this Tuesday morning call-around report.
On Sunday, Politico reported on the sad plight of Democrats in Iowa and elsewhere. Besides getting rid of Trump, as Democrats believe they've done, the party had an unhappy ending in the 2020 elections. Their dreams of winning back state houses fizzled, and not only did they fail to win the U.S. Senate outright, they almost lost the House of Representatives. Politico reports that the Democrat Party's disastrous election night showing has left Iowa Democrats on edge. They're doing a lot of soul-searching, supposedly. Senator Joni Ernst, who was said to be in the fight of her life, clobbered her Democrat opponent by 7 points. President Trump trounced Biden by 8 points. Iowa Democrats lost one House seat, barely hung on to their other one. None of this was predicted by polls or pundits who expected a blue wave. This raises one of the biggest questions of all. How is it that the Republican Party did so well exceeding all expectations. How did the Republicans manage to gain or hold on to seats they were supposed to lose at every level of the electorate, with the only exception being the most popular Republican in the country, President Trump? Well, there's an easy answer. President Trump had a great night, too, until on-edge Democrats made sure he didn't by giving themselves a ballot machine edge. And that's why they're on edge. They're just waiting to get caught. If you are thinking about gifts this holiday season, our friends at Cadenwood, the trusted leaders in CBD, have some ideas of their own to offer. First, there's Level Select CBD, a reliable line of sports creams and roll-ons that use a proprietary formula of broad-spectrum and nano CBD that ensures fast absorption for quick relief. It's perfect for the loved ones on your gift list who stay active. Now, speaking of loved ones, there's Cadenwood's new Purity Preferred Pet CBD with calming and hip and joint relief for your dog or cat. All their products have 0% THC. They are independently tested, and they are made right here in the United States. Level Select CBD is now offering a great holiday gift pack that includes 2 of their most popular products for an incredible 50% savings. Go to LevelSelectCBD.com now and use the promo code HOLIDAY. LevelSelectCBD.com, promo code HOLIDAY for a 50% gift pack.
Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota.
The music's on us on WCAB.
Pass it on.
Now's the time to stay apart. Social distancing. But I'm adding something else. Pull together. What's pulling together while we're staying apart? It's calling family to check in on them. It's waving to your neighbor. It's the things we should have been doing all along. And when this tragedy passes and we're able to come together, we'll be stronger than ever because we've already pulled together. Stay apart. Pull together.
Pass it on.
From passiton.com.
Good morning. Good morning.
Thinking about the departure of a loved one through death is a subject we don't like to talk about. However, pre-planning or prepaying for a funeral is a consideration and responsible thing to do. With so many options available today, it's important to speak with someone you can trust and someone who can help you find a balance between the emotional, spiritual, and financial needs of your loved ones. Crow's Mortuary and Crematory is recognized as one of the best family-run funeral homes. It's a family tradition, and they know how to care for your family. Any questions you might have, they will be happy to answer. Call Crow's Mortuary and Cremation Services at 286-2304.
Although women helped develop our country, as 1869 was coming to a close, they didn't have the right to hold a political office or even vote. But that changed on December 10, 1869, as the first state gave women the right to vote and to hold political office. One would expect it would be an eastern state, quite possibly in the New England area. But that wasn't so. It was probably one of the most remote states at that time, Wyoming. So why was the Wyoming Territory progressive when it came to women's rights? Legislator William Bright backed the bill because his wife convinced him that denying women the vote was a gross injustice. Incidentally, the progressive wife happened to be about half his age. Then there was Edward Lee, the territorial secretary, who argued that if a black man can vote, why couldn't his dear sweet mother? But most people supported the bill for another reason. Wyoming Territory had a population of about 7,000 adults. Of those 7,000 adults, only about 1,000 were women. And those 6,000 men were lonely for the companionship of a woman. So they thought if Wyoming gave women the right to vote, the territory would get national publicity, and in turn women, particularly single women, would come to this rugged, isolated area. When the bill was signed, one lawmaker gave the toast to the lovely ladies, once our superiors, now our equals. Did it work? Well, if you visit Wyoming today, you'll meet some of the handsomest, most strong-minded women and happiest men in the United States. You've just heard another story from Chronicle of the Old West. I'm Dakota Lives say.
Interesting stories from the wild, wild west. It's 16 minutes now past 7 on this terrific Tuesday morning. And let's go to the phones to get started, find out what's been going on the past 24 hours or so. And we stop at first and talk with Sheriff Chris Francis to get that report. Good morning, Sheriff. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Jim. I hope you are this morning.
I am doing very well, enjoying this beautiful morning so far.
And trying to stay warm and drinking plenty of coffee, I'm sure.
Absolutely right. That's right. So what's been going on?
Jim, the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 172 calls for service. There have been 11 arrests processed at county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 150. Among those arrested, Terrence Terrell Edmond, 31-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with a sex offender registration violation and received a $25,000 secure bond. Kayla Ann Stewart, 29-year-old female of Forest City, was charged on a Houston warrant, South Carolina, and 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $12,000 secure bond. Cody Edward Cantrell, 30-year-old male of Rutherford, was charged with possession of Schedule 2, injury to personal property, and resist threat delay and received a $10,000 secure bond. Misty Dawn Holmes, 36-year-old female of Ellenboro, was charged with disorderly conduct and received a $500 secure bond. Joey Ray Green, 40-year-old male of Boston, was charged with possession of firearm by felon, possession with the intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule 2, possession of Schedule 1, possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia, and received a $10,000 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had a larceny on Porch Ford Road in Ruston. There was a glass table and 2 outdoor chairs set that was valued at $200 that was taken from the porch. We had a break-in entering larceny on Kirby Road in Morrisboro. A 65-inch flat screen TV valued at $300 was taken, as well as a 32-inch flat screen valued at $100. An LG Optimus Zone 3 phone, also a wooden cedar chest valued at $100, a cowboy hat, several pairs of boots, and a Harbor Freight saw and air compressor was taken in that instant. We had a burned personal property and felony conversion on Tisdale Street Extension. The victim had some of their personal belongings were burned, as well as some were sold without their consent. And in another instant, we had obtained property of false pretense on Frog Creek Road in Union Mills. Someone had advertised the property and received rent for it. However, it was a vacant piece of property, and they did not have permission to rent that out. And, Jim, that's what we had to report at this time.
All right, Sheriff. I appreciate the report. Nothing new and exciting going on other than routine, I guess, then, huh?
Trying to keep it just as quiet as possible, sir.
Good deal. Keep up the good work, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Thank you, and take care.
Thanks, Sheriff. Bye-bye. Sheriff Chris Francis in this morning. It's 18 past 7. Last night was a swearing-in night for our local government in the county commissioner's office last night at the conference room. Soil and Water Supervisor Ronald Hawkins was sworn in for his new term. Board of Education members Rick Ficklin, Angel King, Philip Morrow, and Tracy Short were all sworn in to serve on their term. Angel King and Tracy Short, both new members. Rick Ficklin and Philip Morrow reelected to serve. In the county commissioner's race, the county commissioner swearing in, newcomer Dave Hunt was sworn in as a county commissioner, and Greg Lovelace returning to his position as commissioner. Over in Spindale, the town council there swore in Lou Gillum as commissioner to fill out the unexpired term of the late James Hamilton. Lou chose her nephew Rocky Gillum and Sophie Hamilton, the wife of the late James Hamilton, to hold the Bible for her as she swore in her to be office in that position. So congratulations to all these folks who stepped up to the plate and were interested in serving our communities. Here's Jesse now reporting in from 911 Communication Center. Jesse, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell us what's on the report.
In the past 24 hours, Rutherford County Sheriff's Office 911 Communications has processed 574 911 calls and administrative calls, which consisted of 54 for EMS and 19 for rescue. Under law enforcement, we had 172 for the Sheriff's Office, 82 for Forest City, 5 for Lake Lure, 32 for Rutherford, and 75 for Spindale. Under the fire department, Cliffside responded to an industrial fire alarm. Forest City had a motor vehicle accident, and Green Hill had a vehicle fire, and that's all.
Thanks, Jesse. Have a good day.
Thank you, you too.
Bye. At McCurry Deck Motors, you can browse a selection of vehicles that includes all of the top models in Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC lineups. The McCurry Deck Motors lineup of vehicles checks all the boxes, ensuring that they will have the perfect vehicle for any car shopper that visits their lot. Come visit and see what's in store for you and your family with the McCurry Deck quality reputation of fair deals and customer service. Try the Chevy. Find new roads with Chevy. At McCurry Deck Motors, we're the home of Chevy, Buick, and GMC. 1740 U.S. Highway 74A, Forest City. 21 after 7, let's go over to the SDO Fire District now. Ruby Taylor has the report from that fire district. Ruby, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Big Jim.
Good. What's on the report?
The fire department didn't have anything, and on my birthday calendar, I've got Myra Quillard having birthday today, and Mr. and Miss Jerry Husky having anniversary. Hope these people have a nice day. Signs are in the range today and tomorrow. Jim, that's all I got.
You have a wonderful day, Ruby.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Farm Bureau Insurance doesn't hire celebrities to push auto coverage. We think people might like to make decisions based on service and savings, not just because that guy from that show says it's a good idea. Instead of faces you know from your TV, we offer faces you know from your neighborhood, because we're headquartered in North Carolina with local agents right in your town. That's really the only thing we want to be famous for. North Carolina Farm Bureau Insurance. Helping you is what we do best.
In Rutherford County, please call 287-2428.
North Carolina Farm Bureau Mutual Insurance Company, Farm Bureau Insurance of North Carolina, Inc., Southern Farm Bureau Life Insurance Company, Jackson, Mississippi, an independent licensee of the Blue Cross and Blue Shield Association.
Only 9 days left for Cash for Christmas. You have a chance to be a grand prize winner, but only if you buy a ticket. Ticket sales end December 17th. I'm talking about the Chamber of Commerce reverse raffle. So don't miss out on your chance to win Christmas cash. $50 a ticket, but total cash giveaway is $10,000. The grand prize, $8,000. Second prize, $1,500, and third prize, $500. And the prizes will be given away December the 18th, live here on WCAB at 8:15. You do not have to be present to win. The winners will be notified. But to win, you have to have a ticket. To purchase a ticket, email or call the chamber office, or we have them available right here at WCAB. Get your ticket and be having a chance of winning some great Christmas cash. Let's check in now with Gary Wilson up in the Fairfield Mountains, Bills Creek area, and a beautiful part of our county. Gary, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, Jim. How you doing?
Doing really well, thanks.
Yeah, we're off to a little chilly start up here this morning, about 26 degrees, but it is December, so we shouldn't expect 80, I don't guess, but I'd take it if we had it, I believe.
I think I'm with you, Gary.
Yeah. And we've been quiet up here. No Bills Creek or us either one had any fire calls in the last 24 hours. Bills Creek, the Red Cross will be having a blood drive out at Bills Creek Fire Department Wednesday tomorrow at noon. So hope everybody can come out and donate this time of year when they really need it more than any other time. And yes, everything else is going on pretty good up here. Better take it while we can.
Yeah, enjoy it while we can. All right, Gary, I appreciate you looking after things for us up there and reporting back into us. We will check back in with you first thing tomorrow morning.
All right, we'll talk to you then.
Have a great day, Gary.
Henson Building Materials is returning to our regular days and hours to better serve the fast-growing building needs of the Forest City area. Our hours will be 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturday from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We'll still be taking safety measures, cleaning, wearing masks, and social distancing, all while our friendly and knowledgeable staff will be taking your orders on a variety of building, remodeling, and DIY projects. With the combined experience of over 50 years, Jamie Earls, Terry Dunaway, and Randy Harrell in our 10,000 square foot showroom will get you in and out, loaded and back to your project, all with the flexibility in ordering. And while you're at it, visit our Homeworks by Henson showroom with our 2 designers for all of your kitchen and bath cabinet and countertop design needs. Time to get out, get busy, and visit Henson Building Materials. Building starts here.
Let's talk with Bob Hodge. He's over in the Hudlow Fire District this Tuesday morning, shivering over there with knees knocking a little chilly there, Bob, are you?
Well, yes, it's a chilly Tuesday morning up here. Yeah, we've got frost on the pumpkins this morning.
That is for sure.
I'm waiting for that sun to come up so it'll warm things up a little, but looks like it's going to be cool all day today, so as long as that wind don't get up, it'll be all right, but I can't stand that wind blowing when it's cold. So.
That makes it a lot worse for sure.
Oh, it goes plumb through you then, don't it? So
yes.
But, Jim, things going along good up here this morning. with the fire department. It's quiet overnight. Didn't have any fire calls. And I want to say happy birthday to Glenn West this morning. And Jim, other than that, things are going along quiet, and maybe be quiet all day with us up here.
Well, it'd be nice if it's quiet all week, wouldn't it?
That's right. We ain't had too much all weekend this week, so. But sometimes it comes in bunches like bananas there. If you have one call, you have 3 or 4 then.
That's the way it works. Well, we're just coming off of a full moon, so that usually picks up during that time.
I know it there. Yeah. Well, I know it. Sometimes on them full moons, look like you have more there. So, but I don't know where that has anything to do with it. But the old time says, yeah. People get out and getting meanness, don't they?
Yep. Well, Bob, listen, I appreciate you. Thank you and for the report. And you have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, Jim.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It can be a tough call when it comes time to provide a daycare service for an aging parent or a loved one. You can always depend on Rutherford Life Services for a safe facility that offers medical monitoring, nutritional meals, fun activities, and is a loving environment. Rutherford Life is licensed by the State of North Carolina Division of Aging. They will be glad to answer any questions you may have. Call them at 288-1697. Rutherford Life Services offers a trained staff of professionals who you can entrust your loved one to. Rutherford Life Services is located at 230 Fairground Road in Spindale.
Here is Sue Price over in the Cherry Mountain Fire District with our Tuesday report. Hi, Sue.
Good morning, Jim.
Everything well for you over there?
I reckon so. Everything's going pretty good. It's cold this morning.
Yes.
And as Bob said, I'm glad that wind's not blowing. It blowed last night, but it makes it a lot colder. Anyway, we're in December, so we can expect some cold weather. Well, let's see. I don't have any birthdays or anniversaries on my church calendar or my personal calendar. Fairview's got a birthday for Rick Chapman and Joanne Tilley, so I hope they'll have a good day today. And we hope anybody that's having a birthday or anniversary will have a real good day on their special day and enjoy it. And in my announcements, the Fairview Baptist Church up in beautiful Golden Valley will be having a drive-through nativity on December 20th from 6:30 to 8, and everyone's invited, so that's taking the place of their usual Christmas program. It's something different, but we're having a lot of different things go on these days.
Yeah.
A lot of changes.
I'm sure there are a lot of choirs disappointed they couldn't get together and practice for the Christmas cantatas. It's always a big event.
I know.
As a former choir director, I know I would have been terribly disappointed not to have been able to do that, but
yeah,
we do what we have to do.
That's right. I remember those good programs we went to Thermoy.
Yeah,
we really enjoyed those.
Those were great days. We sure miss doing those. We might do them again when things level off.
It's going to one of these days, hopefully.
I sure hope so.
No, it's been a crazy year. Well, I hope you will have a good day today, Jim, and we'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Sue. Be careful over there, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, the Tar Heels will be in action this evening at UNC and Iowa basketball. 6 o'clock, we'll join them after News 13 at 6 with the pregame at 6:30. Then the tip-off is at 7:30. Tar Heels and Iowa tonight with the B-Ball.
Your car's best friend can be RS Speedy Lube Service Center. That's because RS Speedy Lube Service Center and Car Wash can keep your car or truck running clean with a regular oil change. They check the fluids and vacuum out the car and have you on your way in no time. Go next door for a radiator or transmission flush. Brakes, exhaust, CV joints, and service for big trucks and campers also available. pull next door to the RS Speedy Automatic Car Wash and make your car happy with a clean, all under and all over car wash. It's all at RS Service Center and Car Wash on Railroad Avenue in Rutherfordton.
7:30, and remember, Christmas time is close by, and we have begun playing some Christmas music intermixed with our regular format, and we'll start all Christmas next week. Starting Monday, we'll go all Christmas music. We don't want to overload it here, but we're doing a couple of hours right now, playing some of your favorite, we hope. And as you send your Christmas cards in, too, be in drawing for the recliner from the Recliner Center, just list your favorite Christmas song. We'll do our best to get those in during that time as well. So starting Monday morning, all Christmas music here on WCAB. We got a lot of choices, a lot of different songs to choose from, and we hope indeed your artist or your favorite arrangement of songs will be heard. There are many different arrangements of many different Christmas songs. Some of them are really good, but we'll try to cipher out the and play the good ones during this Christmas holiday. All right, let's head over to the Drop-In Family Mart there in Bostic, and we have Gene on the phone today. Gene, how you doing?
Fine. How you doing, Jim?
Doing great, man. Good to talk to you. Tell us what's going on.
Cool out there this morning, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll say you got to step really high to get inside before that freeze locks into those ankle joints.
Yes, sir. Come on over and just got breakfast ready: biscuits, gravy, country ham, bacon, eggs. Got the coffee on brewing. Today's the last day of our ribeye sale for $9.99. Come on by and check out our specials. We got the cheapest price on hamburger in town, and just like to make everybody happy.
Well, you're doing a good job at that. That one thing about the coffee you mentioned, I know for a fact you guys have good tasting coffee.
Yes, she brews it several times a day, and we're looking forward to everybody that's coming in and getting ready for Christmas. We got Christmas candy. Then you come by and get some of that. I sampled some of it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Plenty of fruit for fruit baskets?
Yeah, they got plenty of fruit for fruit baskets, and just a little bit of everything, just a little variety of everything there, Jim.
All right, great, man. Appreciate the good service you guys render to your customers. Keep up the good work, and we'll send folks out by there, and they can go from the automobile to the loaf of bread. You got just about anything you want, don't you?
Yes, sir, Jim.
All right. Listen, have a good day and be careful over there and keep Jesse straight.
That's a hard job, but we'll try.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's a Drop-In Family Mart there in Bostic. You should drop in and see those good folks. They do an excellent job, and the customer friendly too. And I like that. You know, it's difficult to go in places where they're not customer friendly. And I was had a little experience over the weekend. I won't call the name of the store, but I thought, with all the training, hopefully, I guess they do. Some of these folks, these big corporate folks, they don't spend any time training folks to have good customer relation skills, but that's them. I know you appreciate good customer service. They have that at Drop-In. 7:34 right here on WCAB's Morning Report.
You can bet when Santa is checking his list and checking it twice, he's going to be doing a lot of his shopping for good ladies and gents at the Recliner Center. Sofas, love seats, rocker recliners, lift chairs. If you or someone you love is having trouble standing, try out the lift chairs. And everything in the store is 10% off. The new hours at the Recliner Center are Tuesday through Friday, 9 to 4, Saturdays, 9 to 2, and Angela will see you by appointment by calling her at 395-3562. And the Recliner Center again is giving away a new recliner. All you have to do is send us a card at WCAB, Post Office Box 511, Rutherfordton, North Carolina, 28139, or just bring it to us here at 191 Whiteside Road in Rutherfordton. And we'll have the drawing again Christmas Eve, and someone will win a recliner from the Recliner Center. The Recliner Center is located on Cooper's Gap Road in Rutherfordton, and Merry Christmas from the Recliner Center.
Well, let's go up to Shingle Hollow now and find out what Tina's up to this morning, Tuesday morning. I bet she's up and at 'em and happy as a lark this morning. Tina, how are you?
I am happy as a lark this morning.
Good. I thought you might be.
I am. I'll just go ahead first thing and say thank you to everyone for your prayers. Tristan's surgery went well. The surgeon said that it was better than expected, and I just want to give God the glory and thank everyone for prayers. He's still, of course, in the hospital, so continue those. But It's funny. He's a country boy, and he came out of surgery, and when he, came through recovery and all that, they asked him if he felt like eating, and he said, I think I'd like to have some fish.
My kind of guy. Well, that's wonderful.
I told him.
Go ahead.
He sounded like a little man, Jim.
Well, that's wonderful news that he came out of that surgery so well, and I'm sure things are going to continue to improve for him.
Oh, I'm sure too. Well, it's cold up here in Shingle Hollow, about 27 degrees out there, too cold to be out and about, but we have to continue, don't we?
We do.
And the fire department said they had no calls. No birthdays on Pleasant Grove. We have one birthday on Piney Knob, Skylar Edwards. I hope they have a happy, happy birthday. And I just thought if any listeners out there going to any of the local or, our members of the local churches here, if you would like to have your birthday calendars and birthdays and anniversaries called out, feel free to contact me and I can come pick them up, or they can email it or the list. And I'll go ahead and give my number. Is that okay if I do that?
Sure, absolutely.
748-6220. Just call me if you would like to have your birthday list added to our calendars at Shingle Hollow.
748
6220.
6220. 748 6220. And that's a cell phone?
That is my cell phone. They can feel free to leave a message, and I can give them my email if we want to do the contact list. If they call me, you can do that.
So there you go, folks. There's an opportunity to get your announcements out there, your community news, your birthdays, and Tina's willing to do that for you, so give her a call.
Okay.
Anything else?
I will talk with you. That's all I've got this morning, I think.
Well, continue having a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, everybody have a safe day.
Thanks, Tina. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Nobody gets a better deal than the customers of Sisk Family Ford. They have a proven record as the #1 Ford dealer in customer satisfaction in the Southeast. They continue to strive hard to keep that honor. Come on in and see for yourself. Take a look at the all-new design 2021 F-150 or reserve an all-new 2021 Bronco coming in the spring. Don't miss out on the automobile you've been wanting at the Sisk Family Ford price. Take your pick while the picking is good on Oak Street in Forest City.
Well, the Columbus Police Department they've arrested a man Tuesday afternoon after responding to a shots fired call on Hampton Street last week. Alan Michael Berger was arrested and charged with felony second-degree kidnapping, felony discharge of firearm enclosure to incite fear, discharge of firearm in city limits, assault on a female, assault by pointing a gun, assault with a deadly weapon, and damage to property, according to Columbus police reports. Columbus officers were dispatched at 4:15 p.m. on Hampton Street for shots fired. Officers with the Columbus Police Department as well as Polk County Sheriff's Office deputies arrived and encountered Berger. Berger was taken to the Polk County Slammer, where he was being held without bond. Berger was recently out on bond for possession of methamphetamine, according to Columbus police reports. Berger is currently awaiting trial in Polk County on the methamphetamine charges. Now let's head up to Union Mills and get the Kelly report. Miss Brenda, good morning.
Good morning. How are you on this terrific Tuesday morning?
Now that I'm inside where it's warm, I feel really good.
I know what you mean. It's a bit cold outside, isn't it?
Yeah, and it takes your automobiles a little bit of time to warm up in the mornings when you start out.
Oh, yeah, it does. But I've got 26 degrees on the front porch. That's a little bit cold. I don't have any birthdays, any anniversaries. I don't know of anything going on. I haven't got no phone calls or letters, and so long I wouldn't know how to act if I got one. but life goes on. It is what it is, and we can't change it, so there you are.
Yeah, we just have to grow from it and build on it and try to make the best we can do.
That's right. That drop-in over at Ballstick, that is a fine store. I've been over there several times, but it's so far for me to have to go over there. But I wished we had one of those here in Union Mills.
That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, they just got all kind of stuff in that store.
Yeah,
they really have. It's it's a one-stop drop-in.
It really is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
More than people realize.
Yeah, they've just got everything in there. But I don't know of anything going on, so I guess you better go check on Luther Sweet Thing Gilligan, see if he's got his coffee and his biscuits and his conversation with everybody.
Have a great day, Brenda.
Okay, catch you later.
All right, bye-bye. And then we will go to Ellenboro right after we say good morning to Andrew Tisdale. Good morning, Andrew.
Good morning. As we are experiencing the impact of COVID-19, let's stop predicting and let's prepare. Life changes, and then it changes again. Predicting the unexpected in life is impossible. That's why it's called the unexpected. So when it comes to your financial goals, our philosophy is don't predict, prepare. Hi, I'm your Edward Jones financial advisor, Andrew Tisdale. A job loss, a change in health, or a loss of a loved one can have a big impact on your family's financial security. Let's work together to help make sure you're equipped for life's unexpected events. Call me today at 828-287-9197. Our office is located at Food Line Plaza in Rutherford. This is Edward Jones, making sense of investing, and a member of the SIPC. Bye.
Bye. Let's head over toward Ellenboro now and talk with Luther Gilligan to see what kind of news he can give us. Good morning.
Good morning. It's a good, nice morning there. We're sitting here waiting on watching the sun come up, drinking coffee, having a good time.
Ain't life good?
Life is good. Enjoy while you can.
That's right.
But it's a good day. It's quiet down here this morning. Nothing going on. Everybody's just getting a coffee and a biscuit and heading on out to work. And those old people, we just sitting here watching them go. But it's good. But it's quiet, nothing going for it. Probably didn't have anything all day yesterday and all night last night. They didn't have to go out in the cold, so everything was good for them. So that's going on down here, Jim. You have a great day up there. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Thanks, Luther. Have a great day now.
All right, take care now.
Bye. Well, it's time to call your birthdays in, and birthdays and anniversaries. You can do that, and we'll give you a big shout-out. 287-3356, 287-3356. And we'll see who all celebrating birthdays and anniversaries. We love to give you a shout out. So call now 287-3356, and we'll see who is who's getting a little older, little year older. This victim offering this reward for a stolen laptop, for us to know, is still out there. On Sunday, November 29th, Keisha McDowell called officers to report that her vehicle had been broken into and her laptop had been stolen. The vehicle was parked at Walmart when the larceny occurred. She's offering a reward for the return of her laptop. So contact the Forest City Police if you know anything about that. She'd love to get her laptop back. All right, let's see if we can find some folks who are having birthdays. That's really something to crow about. It's the Daylight Donuts from Granny B's in Spindale. Get yours today while they're fresh. They're good. They're delicious. It's Daylight Donuts. It's something to crow about.
Happy birthday.
We want to wish Jimmy Ellenberg a happy birthday today. He's celebrating. So, Jimmy, have a good one. Take a little time off. Have an extra cup of coffee today. Jimmy Ellenberg celebrating a birthday today. Coming up for this few minutes, Keys to Confident Living. Andrew Tisdale due to be in this morning a little after 8 o'clock. We schedule to have the commissioner's report from last night's meeting also this morning. So we've got a full hour coming up on WCAB 100.9 FM, 590 AM.
Everyone seems to want quick success, but few are willing to pay the price. The gambling craze currently in our culture gives ample proof of wanting to score it big very quickly. True success usually takes time to build. On the farm, there are no quick fixes. Cows must be milked twice a day. Planting is done in the springtime and harvesting in the fall. There are no shortcuts. The laws of the harvest rule. We cannot ignore these laws any more than we can ignore the laws of gravity. If you want to be truly successful, then you need to remember these few items. 1, you reap what you sow. You cannot expect to get wheat if you sow corn, or you cannot expect to get wealth if you sow foolish spending. 2, when you sow generously, you will also reap generously. God wants to make sure that He is more than fair and generous with us with what He gives us. We can never say God did not give more than He received. 3, you can't rush the law of the harvest. I have worked around farms a lot, and the farmer simply cannot make the corn ripen any faster than what nature allows. And at our own peril, we too try and force success. We need to sow, water, and weed, and leave the results with God. This is Bill Hostler with today's key to confident living.
The music's on us on WCAB.
Pass it on. Now's the time to stay apart. Social distancing. But I'm adding something else. Pull together. What's pulling together while we're staying apart? It's calling family to check in on them. It's waving to your neighbor. It's the things we should have been doing all along. And when this tragedy passes and we're able to come together, we'll be stronger than ever because we've already pulled together. Stay apart. Pull together.
Pass it on.
From passiton.com.
Good morning. Good morning.
Life could be a dream. Life could be a dream. Shaboom. Life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love, life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and open we'll meet again. Boom, ding dong, ding dong, a lang, a lang, a lang. Oh, 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 bip, a bip, a dip. Oh, life could be a dream. If only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you, life could be a dream, sweetheart.
Every time I look at you, something is on my mind. If you do what I want you to, maybe we'd be so fine.
Oh, life could be a dream. Shaboom, if I could take you up in paradise up above. Shaboom, tell me, darling, I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream. Sweetheart, hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hope we'll meet again. Boom, boom, ding, dong, ding, dong, a lang, a lang, a lang, a lang, a lang,
I'm Sherry Preston. As the first people get the COVID vaccine in Britain, we are learning that last summer, the White House passed up on an opportunity to pre-order additional doses of the Pfizer shots. ABC's Cecilia Vegas in Washington.
Now that Pfizer appears to be on the verge of getting this emergency use authorization, apparently within just a matter of days, the administration has reportedly gone back to the drug company to ask for these additional doses. But Pfizer has said it can't help you anymore, basically the United States, because we've made deals with other countries to give them these drugs.
That as President Trump gets ready to sign an executive order ensuring that Americans get doses of the vaccine before people in other countries. Dr. Monsef Slaoui is Chief Science Officer for Operation Warp Speed.
There are vaccine doses from Moderna. There are vaccine doses from Pfizer. We will work with Pfizer to try and increase capacity and have those vaccines available.
There is a White House vaccine summit going on today. Representatives from Pfizer and Moderna are not there, and the Biden transition team was not invited to attend. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill say they are determined to pass a bipartisan pandemic relief bill before the congressional session ends later this month. What's not included in the deal that's on the table, those $1,200 checks for families in need.
This is the kind of money that in the pocket of, for example, a single mother, this could be the difference between her being able to afford to pay for childcare, to have someone come to her home, or to even drop her children off at daycare, or her potentially having to quit her job because she has no other alternative to care for her children and at the same time work.
ABC News Chief Business Correspondent Rebecca Jarvis. A recent study estimates roughly a third of New York's 240,000 small businesses won't survive the pandemic. Aviation pioneer Chuck Yeager has died. He became the first person to break the sound barrier back in 1947. He was 97. You're listening to ABC News.
Here's a great thing to consider doing right now before the end of the year. Call Medishare and find out just how much you would save by switching to Medishare, the affordable alternative to health insurance. When you call, you'll get some good news and probably be very happily surprised, too. The typical family saves $500 a month, but you might save even more. It's so worth it to at least find out. And you'll see why more than 400,000 people are already members. Medishare is a Christian community that shared more than $4 billion in each other's healthcare costs. It really is remarkable, and they're very easy to talk to. And here's the thing. If you join before the end of the year, they'll waive your new member fee. That's another $170 you'll save. I'll give you the number here in a second. The call, and you'll get a price within 2 minutes. And again, the deadline is December 31st, so call now. You'll save even more. Call 877-26-BIBLE. That's 877-26-BIBLE. 877-26-BIBLE.
Well, the clock's ticking. If you want to get your Christmas presents ordered or sent out, UPS, FedEx, and the post office all say a week from today, December 15th. That is the deadline for ground shipments to arrive on time. Other tips: use plenty of packing material and double check that you got the address right. Brexit talks may be about to collapse. Great Britain and the EU have until the end of the year to figure out a deal or risk serious economic consequences. So far, they're still struggling. A mystery in Lake County, Florida. Somebody's been breaking into graves, and investigators think it may be connected to some sort of ritual. ABC's Jim Ryan has the story.
When she noticed a concrete slab leaning against a tree, Emma Booth decided to drive into the cemetery to investigate.
I walked up, and there lay this poor man.
In an open casket, the head removed. Lake County Sheriff's Lieutenant John Harrell was called.
Your heart breaks for the loved ones of these people who are placed here.
Loved ones like Vernell Parker.
It's just wicked, evil. So these are the days we living in.
Her mother was buried at Edgewood Cemetery over 3 decades ago. Now her grave is one of at least 4 that have been desecrated. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
A treasure hunter identified over the summer. $1 million worth of valuables has been found a decade after art dealer Forrest Fenn hid it and then left clues in a poem. Fenn's grandson now confirming that a medical student named Jonathan Stoof discovered it in the mountains of Wyoming. Yes, he did. No word yet on how Stoof unraveled the poem. This is ABC News.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
This stuff is fabulous. Your commercials don't even do it justice. The energy, everything, it's just amazing. People say to me, your skin looks so nice lately. Thank you. You know, it's Balance of Nature. It's amazing.
Right now, Balance of Nature is offering free shipping and 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code FRUITS.
Sherry Preston, ABC News.
We're going to head into the mid to upper 40s for today with plenty of sunshine around, all thanks to high pressure in place. As we head into tonight, our wind speeds are going to back off. With clear skies and lighter winds, we are going to see temperatures fall all the way down into the upper 20s and lower 30s. For tomorrow, it's going to be slightly warmer. Highs will head into the low to mid 50s and a few high clouds will build in. The next best chance for rain will be this weekend. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Well, the current temperature is 27 degrees, according to Peter the meter reader, and sunny skies today, and we're getting up to about 49, and warming up even higher than that Wednesday, and then Thursday even higher than that, 62 for a daytime high on Thursday, and the weekend, other than the threat of a 10%, 20% chance of showers, weekend's going to be kind of nice as well. Nice daytime temperature, cold temperature at night, but it is December, right? Wintertime's coming to 21st, so be ready for that. 6 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock, and it's Tuesday morning. Tuesday morning. It is Tuesday, right? Yeah, it's Tuesday. Tuesday morning, yep, all day. And Andrew Tisdale is in the blue room with me here this morning, and he's here to give us some advice on how to handle our dollars and quarters. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How you doing?
All I can tell you is if you add 100 pennies, it'll equal $1. 25 pennies equals a quarter. All cents matter.
You're just full of wisdom, man. Just full of wisdom.
That's right. Well, we're just talking about crossword puzzles. See, you've been doing it and I've been doing it.
You're so bright your mama calls you son.
That's exactly right. Sometimes a little extra to it, too.
What you got on your mind today?
We're nearing the end of 2020, and for many of us, it will be a relief to turn this calendar page. It's been a challenging year, and we just got a few weeks left. So now might be some good times to make some year-end moves in your portfolio that will work in your favor. Here are just a few suggestions. For the 2020 tax year, if you're under 50, you can put $6,000 into your IRAs or $7,000 if older. Here's the difference. If you put them in a traditional, you will get a tax break now. If you put it in a Roth, you'll get tax breaks later. Which one would be beneficial for you? If you need some tax breaks coming up, congratulations, that's great. Think about your traditional IRA. If you want to put some money aside and earn tax-free earnings from now till forever, think about a Roth. Or you can make it in your 401k as well. Also, you can move around some of your investments, and making some investment-related moves could actually offset some losses for you on paper, not necessarily just in your portfolio and they make you think you're losing money, but on paper you can take these opportunities and make some sales and take some losses, wait 30 days and put it back in. Just take some time to review your investment mix. Just think about it. What if I save $1,000, $2,000 in taxes because I take some moves, take some capital gains, then turn right back around and earn it back in the way of earnings? Then I really earned $4,000, not just $2,000. My paper may say I only earned 4 or 5%, but in reality I earned 10% because of the money I saved on taxes. Just sit down, take some time, find somebody you trust that will show you the way, and take advantage of what we can do to make these cents turn to dollars.
And I think you're right that these times are even more important to make sure our dollars are working the way they should be working instead of us loosely out there with fly-by-night schemes.
Well, dollars are technically, well, not technically, they don't have a heart, but they are living. They're always moving. Yeah. And it's up to us whether we can control the movement in our pocket or we control the movement for ours. And that's what it's all about. It does move. Let's just take control of it and make it move right for us.
That's why you're Andrew Tisdale. That's why you're with Edward Jones.
That's why I'm with Edward Jones.
That's why you can give some great financial advice for anybody who has questions, whether you got $1 or $1 million. Andrew will take the time to give you all the suggestions that he thinks is meaningful for you. That's 173 Railroad Avenue. That phone number is 287-9197. Edward Jones, making sense of investment.
And we'll try our best on these crossword puzzles to get better.
All right. I'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Andrew Tisdale, ladies and gentlemen, leaving the Blue Room now, heading toward the lobby of a great radio station. Coming up at 9:05, My Great America with Jim and Butch. Butch is in the studio in the building right now, waiting to get his turn in the Blue Room this morning. We're scheduled to have the commission report. They met last night, transactions and business, and we'll see what they talked about in just a little while. They reelected or elected chairman, vice chairman last night. Don't know how that turned out, but they did swear in some new folks, and we'll tell you who they are right after this.
Make mobile merry this holiday season with special deals from Bark Mobile. Put something special under the tree with up to 4 LG Stylo 6 smartphones for free when you switch. We have our sleigh stocked with many other free smartphone options too, and we can make the holidays even easier with our 90-day payment option. Celebrate the season with big savings from Bark. It's mobile made merry. Certain restrictions apply. See store for details or visit mybarkmobile.com/terms and conditions.
One of the things the commissioners did last night in special call session, it wasn't a call session, but a special session, but they swore in some new members to various boards and commissions. Soil and Water Supervisor Ronald Hawkins was sworn in last night. For the Board of Education, they swore in, Judge Martell did the swearing in. Board of Education, Rick Ficklin, Angel King, Philip Morrow, and Tracy Short. Now, of those four, two were newcomers to the Board of Education, Angel King and Tracy Short. They were newcomers, winning their election in November. Rick Ficklin and Philip Morrow were incumbents. They did not have any opposition, so they ran out of posts, but they had to be sworn back in again to fill their next term. So Rick Ficklin, Angel King, Philip Morrow, and Tracy Short all were sworn in last night. For county commissioners, we had one newcomer and one going back in. Judge Martell swore in David Hunt as the new commissioner, replacing Eddie Holland, who had been there for a number of years, chose not to run for re-election this year, and David Hunt won the primary as a Republican and was sworn in as a commissioner last night. Greg Lovelace had been on the board for a couple of terms. He won re-election, and he was sworn in last night as well. So Dave Hunt and Greg Lovelace back on the commission board for last night. And they made some other decisions, and if we get our commission report this morning, we'll find out exactly what else they talked about. Some other elections were held in the commission room last night. Over in the town of Spindale, before they started their meeting, they had a swearing-in session for Lou Gillum. And Lou Gillum was sworn in as commissioner. He taken the seat of the late James Hamilton, and she was sworn in. Holding the Bible for her, she requested her nephew Rocky Gillum, and the widow of James Hamilton, Sophie Hamilton, also held the Bible for Lou as she was sworn in as the new Spindale commissioner at their board meeting last night. So those are the ones that taken their places now to govern as they know how for the town of Spindale and the county. Don't know what happened in Forest City. Don't know when they did theirs, but we don't have that information. But I'm sure I don't think they had any changes there, if any at all. All right, some other news from our neighboring county, Polk County. The Columbus Police Department arrested a man after responding to shots fired called on Hampton Street. Alan Michael Berger was arrested and charged with felony second-degree kidnapping, felony discharge of firearm, enclosure to incite fear, discharge of firearm in city limits, assault on a female, assault by pointing a gun, assault with a deadly weapon, and damage to property, according to the Columbus police reports. Columbus officers were dispatched at 4:15 to 49 Hampton Street for shots fired. Officers with the Columbus Police Department, as well as Polk County Sheriff's Office deputies, arrived and encountered Berger. Berger was taken to the Polk County Detention Facility, where he's being held without bond. Berger was recently out on bond for possession of methamphetamine, according to Columbus Police Report. Berger is currently awaiting trial in Polk County on the methamphetamine charges. Now, I'm told the courts are backed up right now due to COVID. They have not been able to have any trials for anybody in some time, so there are a lot of folks waiting trial because of the COVID. They can't get together, can't have jurors in the jury box close together, so they're having to postpone everything. So it may be a while, and I know everybody concerned with all of those would love to see that take place soon. 14 minutes after 8 o'clock. As the county library system develops its next multi-year strategic plan, is seeking input from community members to help guide the future of the county, the Haynes, and the Mountain libraries. All citizens are invited to participate by completing a short survey, even if you're not a current library user. The survey can be found on the Rutherford County Library System's website, rutherfordcountylibrary.org, on their Facebook page at Rutherford County Library, or by visiting the another link, which is way too long and complicated for me to give to you over the radio. Paper copies of the survey can also be picked up and dropped off at the county library on Callahan Coon Road in Spindale, the Haynes Branch Library in Henrietta, or the Mountain Branch Library in Lake Lure. Check either of those libraries and pick up a form and fill that out, please. Well, up in Asheville, Buncombe County Commissioners voted unanimously Monday to accept a city-county task force recommendation to take the Vance Monument down from Pack Square in Nashville. It's been a mainstay there in Nashville, Pack Square, for a number of years. It's sort of noted. You drive in, you see that, you know you're in Nashville, right there on Pack Square. But they voted to take it down. Next, the matter will go to before the Asheville City Council. The monument is on city property, so whether it stays or goes is not a done deal. The 65-foot stone monument was designed by Biltmore Estate architect William Sharp Smith, erected in 1896 in honor of Weaverville native Zebulon Vance. Vance was a Civil War officer, a North Carolina governor, and U.S. senator. But here's the kicker. He also owned slaves back when it was legal. The monument built in his name became a flashpoint for local protest after the death of George Floyd at the hands of a Minneapolis police officer and the emergence of the Black Lives Matter movement. So the folks up in Asheville, bowing to the pressure, are removing a monument in honor of a former governor and U.S. senator and a Civil War officer. So there you go. 18 minutes after 8 o'clock, Matthew McConaughey last week took his Hollywood peers to task for condescending attitude toward conservatives and Trump supporters who are refusing to accept the results of the 2020 presidential election. Most Hollywood crowd is jumping all over conservatives, any of them, and especially Donald Trump, but not Matthew McConaughey. The Beach Bum actor made the comments during an appearance on Russell Brand's podcast Under the Skin. Asked by Brand whether he noticed condemnation and criticism of ordinary working people in Hollywood when discussing politics, McConaughey said absolutely. So he's calling them to task for their condescending attitude. All right, let's see what else is going on. Enough of the Vance Monument thing. The Asheville City County voting to have it taken down, and it's got to pass the city ordinance and all of that stuff. Anyway, it's 8:18. The Sheriff's Report with Sheriff Chris Francis is coming up here in just a few moments.
The Grace of God Rescue Mission in Forest City is inviting all who need a hot meal to stop by Christmas Eve at 11 o'clock. This free meal is a ministry outreach from Terry Hageman and his team at Grace of God Rescue Mission. If you know someone who is down on their luck this year and otherwise will not have a hot meal for Christmas, invite them to the mission on West Main Street, Forest City at 11 o'clock Christmas Eve. Also, the team will be giving out Christmas gifts, hats, scarves, toboggans, gloves, and fruit baskets. For just $5, you can help provide one of these dinners or one of the thousands that will be provided next year. Your gifts can be a real blessing to someone who needs a hot meal. Please mail your gift to Grace of God Rescue Mission, P.O. Box 212, Forest City 28043. Please mail the most generous gift you can today. You can be a bright spot for those who may have stumbled in the darkness. And from the volunteers at Grace of God Rescue Mission, thank you and Merry Christmas.
You know, the gift everyone really appreciates is at Norm's Coins. Betty has all silver eagle coins from 1986 till the present. She has proof sets from 1960 up to 2021 and plenty of commemorative coins. Need supplies for your collection? Get the Dansco coin books, the Red Book, airtights for coins, currency holders, and so much more. If the one on your Christmas list is just getting started collecting or a longtime pro, Norm's Coins has the supplies. The go-to place for coins and accessories is inside Butler's Jewelry. Norm's Coins, downtown Forest City, saluting another one of our locally owned businesses. Well, after 10 years of business, Tam's Tack Store is changing to a design studio. And all tack and writing apparel has been liquidated, and you get the benefits of that. Week of this week, December the 8th through the 12th, all tack and writing apparel priced over $15 will be half price, be 50% off. Tam is changing things around there at Tam's Tack, and she's wanting to really rid herself of some of this to move into another category. So be sure to check with her. Stop by and enjoy the sales and say hello, and watch for information on the new equestrian studio coming soon. Happy holidays, and may God bless you and your family during the holiday seasons. Tam's Tack is located at 661 Big Island Road in Forest City. They're open Tuesday through Saturday, 10 o'clock until 6. Means they're open today through Saturday, 10 until 6. That phone number is 248-4463, 248-4463. 21 minutes now past the hour of 8 o'clock. Sheriff's Department report up next with Sheriff Chris Francis.
In the last 24 hours, the Rutherford County Sheriff's Office has responded to 172 calls for service. There have been 11 arrests processed at county jail. Currently incarcerated, we have 150. Among those arrested, Terrence Terrell Edmond, 31-year-old male of Forest City, was charged with a sex offender registration violation and received $25,000 secure bond. Kayla Ann Stewart, 29-year-old female of Forest City, was charged on a Houston warrant, South Carolina, and 3 counts of failure to appear and received a $12,000 secure bond. Cody Edward Cantrell, 30-year-old male of Lefton, was charged with possession of Schedule 2, injury to personal property, and resist threat delay and received a $10,000 secure bond. Misty Dawn Holmes, 36-year-old female of Ellenboro, was charged with disorderly conduct and received a $500 secure bond. Joey Ray Green, 40-year-old male of Boston, was charged with possession of firearm by felon, possession with the intent to manufacture, sell, and deliver Schedule 2, possession of Schedule 1, possession of marijuana and drug paraphernalia, and received a $10,000 secure bond. Among our incidents, we had a larceny on Porch Ford Road in Rutherford. There was a glass table and 2 outdoor chairs set that was valued at $200 that was taken from the porch. We had a breaking and entering larceny on Kirby Road in Morrisboro. A 65-inch flat screen TV valued at $300 was taken, as well as a 32-inch flat screen valued at $100. An LG Optimus Zone 3 phone, also a wooden cedar chest valued at $100, a cowboy hat, several pairs of boots, and a Harbor Freight saw and air compressor was taken in that incident. We had a burned personal property and felony conversion on Tisdale Street Extension. The victim had some of their personal belongings were burned, as well as some were sold without their consent. And in another instance, we had obtained property of false pretense on Frog Creek Road in Union Mills. Someone had advertised the property and received rent for it. However, it was a vacant piece of property, and they did not have permission to rent that out. And, Jim, that's what we had to report at this time.
Thank you for making WCAB your radio station of choice for over 50 years. Let's keep it going. Turn it up. This is 100.9 FM, 590 AM, WCAB Rutherfordton.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. The Kansas City Chiefs improved to 11-1 for the second time in franchise history and are again on their way to the playoffs after a 22-16 comeback win over the Denver Broncos last night. Alfred Morris scored a pair of third-quarter touchdowns as the Giants' defense shut down Russell Wilson as the double-digit underdog G-Men handed Seattle their first home loss of the season, 17-12. They fall to 8-4, while the Rams improved to that same mark by beating the Cardinals 38-28 and move into a tie with Seattle atop the NFC West. The Saints are 10-2 after holding on to beat the Falcons 21-16. The Raiders scored with 5 seconds left to leave the Jets winless. The Packers withstood a late rally to outlast the Eagles. The Jaguars collapsed again, this time to Minnesota in a 27-24 overtime loss. A late turnover by Deshaun Watson, a fumble on the 2-yard line, secured the Colts' 26-20 win at Houston. Tua Tagovailoa had a good day for Miami, leading the Dolphins past the Bengals 19-7. Matt Stafford had 3 scores in the Lions rally past the Bears, and Baker Mayfield had a banner day, 334 yards and 4 scoring strikes as he led the Browns in beating the Titans 41-35 to notch their 4th straight win. Cam Newton ran for 2 touchdowns as the Patriots routed the Chargers 45-0. The Chargers now officially eliminated from postseason possibilities. The Patriots, meanwhile, they've won 2 in a row and 4 out of their last 5. They're climbing back into contention. Cam Newton talked about what they have to basically do to have a shot at the postseason, which is win out.
Everything is pretty much in front of us. You know, we just got to really hone in and focus on the opponents that we have faced that week.
There are 2 games today, starting with a matinee at 5 o'clock between Washington. They're visiting undefeated Pittsburgh, and then Buffalo taking on San Francisco in Glendale, Arizona tonight. Tomorrow, the Cowboys are in Baltimore to cap Week 13. This is NCN Sports.
Life is made up of moments. Exciting moments. Scary moments.
Insufficient funds.
Moments you wish you could forget. And moments that change your life forever. Any one of these could also be the moment you decide to enroll in a North Carolina community college. Need a job and want a quick option to boost your chances? Looking to gain new skills to go farther in the career you have? Maybe you're interested in a 2-year degree so you can start working sooner, or want to get a jump start to transfer to a 4-year university later. Whatever you need, North Carolina community colleges are ready for you. Get an affordable, high-quality education. And yes, financial aid options are available too. So make the next moment the one you decide to invest in yourself. Visit yourhighereducation.com today. That's your HIRE education.com. Your future you will thank you.
College basketball, the ACC Big Challenge begins tonight. Number 16, Carolina tipping off at 3rd-ranked Iowa, while number 10, Duke hosts 6th-ranked Illinois. Virginia Tech hosts Penn State, and Ohio State is at Notre Dame. Tomorrow night's game in the Big Ten Challenge between NC State and Michigan has been postponed. NC State has not specified exactly why it was put off, but Michigan says it's due to COVID-19 related concerns within the Wolfpack program. Feared slugger Dick Allen, who was the National League Rookie of the Year in 1964 and 7-time All-Star, died at the age of 78. Mitchell Nathanson is the author of God Almighty Himself, The Life and Legacy of Dick Allen.
He had 11 seasons, 64 through 74, when he was a top-shelf Major League All-Star.
Allen was also the American League's most valuable player in 1972. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
We're going to head into the mid to upper 40s for today with plenty of sunshine around, all thanks to high pressure in place. As we head into tonight, our wind speeds are going to back off. With clear skies and lighter winds, we are going to see temperatures fall all the way down into the upper 20s and lower 30s. For tomorrow, it's going to be slightly warmer. Highs will head into the low to mid 50s, and a few high clouds will build in. The next best chance for rain will be this weekend. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
It's a beautiful day shaping up here in the neighborhood. Another great getting up morning in the foothills. It's 28 degrees and sunny skies. Not much wind today at all, just light wind blowing today and tonight. And the next gust of wind looks like it's going to be Saturday. That wind gusting to 11 miles per hour on Saturday, but partly cloudy skies and no rain on Saturday until Saturday night. And there may be a about a 30% chance of rain Saturday night into early Sunday. But otherwise, we got a beautiful week here in the neighborhood. Love this kind of weather. Cool in the mornings and pleasant throughout the day today. Only 9 days left for Cash for Christmas. You have a chance to be a grand prize winner, but only if you buy a ticket to the Chamber of Commerce Reverse Raffle. Ticket sales ends December 17th, so don't miss out on your chance to win Christmas cash. $50 a ticket. Total cash giveaway is $10,000. Grand prize $8,000. Second prize $1,500, and third prize $500. Prizes to be given away December the 18th, live on the radio right here at 8:15. You do not have to be present to win. The winners will be notified, but we will be live streaming that drawing on Facebook as well as on our internet live stream at www.wcb59.com. So get your tickets if you have not had a chance to get yours yet. Just let me know. I've got some right here. Well, it's another Tuesday morning after the commissioners' meeting on Monday night. They had an important, interesting session last night. A lot of busy business plus important business to take care of. And on the phone with me right now is Chairman Brian King to give us an update. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Hey, good morning. Can you hear me okay?
I sure can. I'm assuming that you were reelected chairman last night.
Yes, sir. And I was, and I certainly do appreciate the honor in the face of the board of me serving them in this way and in our community. So,
congratulations.
Yeah. This is what we do.
Yeah.
You want me to just dive into this?
Yeah, just go ahead and tell us what all took place.
Okay, so by state law, the December meeting is one of certain things have to happen, and one of them was we have a special meeting. A special meeting prior to our 6 o'clock meeting, and with this special meeting we had was a swearing-in ceremony. So the Honorable Judge Robert Martell was in attendance, and he opened his court there in the chambers, and we had the swearing-in ceremonies for the Soil and Water District Supervisor, which is Ronald Hawkins, and Board of Education board members were sworn in, Mr. Rick Fricklin, Miss Angel King. Congratulations, Angel. It's my sister-in-law. Phil Morrow and Tracy Short were sworn in, and county commissioners were sworn in too during this ceremony, and David Hunt and Greg Lovelace. And congratulations to Commissioner Hunt and Commissioner Lovelace. After the swearing-in ceremony, the bailiff closed the court, and then we went into our organizational meeting, which is this. And this part I'm going into now was something that happens in all 100 counties. The first meeting in December in North Carolina, we have an organizational meeting where we had the election of the chairman, and the board elected myself, Brian King, as chairman of the Board of Commissioners. And then after that, we called the question on the vice chairman, and Commissioner Alatoni was elected as vice chairman of the Board of Commissioners. The next item on our agenda during the special meeting was the approval of bonds for county officials. And this is something we have to do at the December meeting. This is where we have bonds on our county officials that actually do financial transactions on behalf of the county. So the bonds were approved and put in place. And then the Board of Commissioners went into closed session, and this is very unusual, but we went in closed session under 143-318-1184, and that is due to for an industrial location in the county. So we went into closed session to discuss that, and then we came out and we adjourned. The next item that we did was a few minutes later was 6 o'clock, and we went into a 6 o'clock meeting, which is our first official meeting for the Board of Commissioners in the new term. We had the agenda. We posted last week that we had a public hearing of a conveyance of some properties for a new industry. We did actually remove that from the agenda. We announced it last night. The public hearing was to be pushed forward one more month, just so we can get some final details finalized between the attorneys. And because we wanted to have everything buttoned up before we have the public hearing. So the agenda was approved with that removed. So after the approval, we skipped the public hearing, and then we went into public comments. We had two speakers on public comments. We appreciate them coming and expressing their viewpoints and their concerns of the county and our community. And then we went to the consent agenda. The consent agenda is what we normally do is items that housekeepings or previous minutes from previous meetings and tax refunds and releases, and those were approved. We went into commissioner appointments next, Jim, and we had the board had to select a voting delegate for the NCACC Legislative Goals Conference. This is really important. This is where all 100 counties, we have members from each county talk to the NCACC about the goals that each county has or the counties have on behalf of our community. And Mike Benfield, Commissioner Benfield, is our delegate this year, and he has been in the past. And this is really important because this is where we reach out when we go to Raleigh, and we reach out to our legislators and what are important matters before us, and for them to consider when they go back into session or when they are in session. So we appreciate Commissioner Benfield and serving the community and the county in that way. The next item, we had the appointments to the Isothermal Community College Board of Trustees. We have a vacancy on the board of the college, and so as part of our policy, the board agreed to advertise the vacancy and accept applications, and we'll make an appointment at a future meeting. This is for the ICC College Board of Trustees. The Tourism Development Authority, we do have an opening on that board as well. That was the next item on the agenda with number 2651. So on the TDA, we have an appointment. This is for a general public appointment. So generally, if you guys recall that on the TDA, there's certain I don't say classifications, but certain segments of our community that can serve. One, you have to either be someone in the industry of like the hotels, beds and heads, or somebody related to tourism, such as restaurants, all that, or it could be a general public appointment. This is the general public, so this is a citizen who has an interest in serving and working with the TDA. We do have an opening for that, and so the board agreed to advertise the vacancy, accept applications, and make appointment at a future meeting. And I want to stress that when we say accept applications, it's not like applying for a job. Is that our county has more than 68,000 people. We don't know everyone in our community. We know a lot of people, but like most people, we live in a bubble. We have our friends in our circle. This is our way of reaching out and finding people in our community who are willing to serve and who want to be aware that there's an opportunity for them to serve in an area of interest. And the applications, we're calling it, is so that we know who you are, your contacts, and how to reach out to you and what your interests are. And so that is available on the county website. So that was the point of opportunity for the Rutherford County Tourism Development Authority. The next item was appointments of commissioners. And, the commissioners, the Board of Commissioners, we all serve not only as Board of Commissioners, but we also serve on different boards and commissions throughout the community, such as myself. I serve as well on the DSS board. But last night we had two of the commissioners were appointed to some openings that came up. Commissioner Lovelace was appointed to the Foothills District Health Board, the Partnership for Children, and the Regency Aging Advisory Committee. And then Commissioner Hunt was appointed to the Tourism Development Authority, which is not related to what I just mentioned. This is where a commissioner this is a commissioner position. Commissioner Hunt was appointed to the Tourism Development Authority, the Library Board of Trustees, and Animal Appellate Board. So thank both those commissioners for serving our community in that way. The next item, Jim, was the appointments to the Rutherford County Boards and Commissions. These are appointments of certain, most of them are fire departments that were expiring in December. And so there's a whole list, and if you like, I can go down the list for you. But Bills Creek, Chimney Rock, Cliffside, Ellenboro, Fairfield Mountain, Green Hill, Hudlow, and all the fire departments had folks that came back onto their Board of Trustees, and that was announced last night. And the whole list of appointments is on the county website. We also, after that, we had appointments to the Juvenile Crime Prevention Council. And this is something that came new this year. They wanted to have a person under the age of, I believe it was 21, or who represents that part of the community. And I hope I pronounced her name right, but Miss Amy Gala, Gall, asked to serve, and she was appointed by the board last night. And so we certainly appreciate that. The Board of Equalization and Review, this is an important board. We have to make there's 3 terms that are ending. We need to make an appointment by March 1. And so the board last night agreed to advertise and accept applications and make appointments at a future meeting for the Board of Equalization and Review. We went into an item called 2655, the COVID-19 response I'm sorry, that did not happen last. We went next thing to approve the CRF plan as recommended by the staff. So what we did next was this the COVID relief plan. We received some monies, and not all the monies are being used, and so we it's recommended by staff where the monies would be reallocated to our towns and municipalities by a method, which is basically by their members of their town, as by how many people they have in each town. So that was done, and we did some of the things to qualify to make sure that all the monies are being used on behalf of our community. The next item was budget amendments, and these are budget amendments that we do, I guess, every month. Because when we approve our budget at the beginning of the fiscal year, we set our budget. But during the year, we have things that happen. The monies come in, donations come in, and then we actually have to vote on that. And last night we had a lot of those things happen, including I think one of the things there are cameras ordered for the sheriff's department, and all that. So those budgets were approved. The next item was the South Mountains Regional Hazard Mitigation Plan. So this is the county has its emergency plan, and this is where South Mountain region. So this is our region, and this is us working with the other counties in our area, or everyone in our region, and with FEMA. So in the past, we've had floods and we've had fires and all this. This is us firming up our plan in case of emergency, where we can leverage our mutual resources and our ability to react when our community needs service. And actually, it was such a big plan that we didn't print it. We just had a link to it on our website. So please, if you're interested, take a look at that. And finally, we went back in closed session again under NCGS 143301811. This is attorney-client. This is for some matters for the board. And after that, we came out and we adjourned. So yeah, it had a lot going on, but it was a really good meeting, and we appreciate everybody working with us.
Pretty thorough meeting, and I appreciate you explaining to the audience what a lot of these boards are, what they do, and what's the purpose of them. So that helps us understand more about the county business.
Right. Well, I do want to, if you don't mind, I do want to mention that the heavy lifting that happens is with our boards in commission. I mean, heavy lifting is work, because this is where we receive input. Because these boards and commissions present recommendations to the board of commissioners, and this allows us to have insight and information that we may not have otherwise. And so, the citizens that serve in these capacities are really the ones that are driving the ship as much as the commissioners. And you don't know how much we appreciate those that volunteer. And this is why we reach out. We reach out, for folks that are interested in serving, because, a lot of people have, time and talent, from their life experiences that's really important when you're serving us. And, so that 1 hour a month, you can't believe how much it's going to change our community and help the community. So we are very grateful for that.
Absolutely. Well, I appreciate your time this morning. I know it was a busy night. It's a busy time for you, and we appreciate the conditions you folks at the county office and the county commission are taking to keep everybody protected from the COVID, and with the various things that are taking place with distancing your meetings and all of those. It's difficult and confusing sometimes, but we got to get through this, and I know you guys are working hard to make it happen.
We are. Okay, well, if I don't talk to anybody, have a Merry Christmas.
Same to you. Merry Christmas to you and your family. Congratulations again on being elected chairman.
Yes, sir. Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye. Brian King, the chairman, reelected last night to serve in that capacity for the Commissioners Board. We'll hear from him each month. We are working on getting the school board back in on their meeting. They'll be meeting tonight, and we're working on getting their report back on. Haven't had one on in about a year now. We'll see what happens with that respect. Many of you said that you appreciate hearing from the county commission and from the school board because you can't make the meeting. So we'll try our best to get that worked out again to have it back on. It's 8:43.
At Smith Drugs of Forest City, we have a number of vaccines, including the Quad-Vac flu immunization at no cost with most insurance plans. If you have any concerns about the flu vaccination, please call our pharmacy and ask to speak to one of our pharmacists. We also have the Tdap, pneumococcal, and shingles vaccinations available. With COVID-19 continuing, we have masks, mask lanyards, hand sanitizers, disinfectant spray, and gloves while supplies last. Seating in our fountain is still limited to 65 patrons on a first-come, first-served basis. We are continuing to offer curbside pickup for the fountain and prescription pickup. Please utilize our drive-through prescription window at the back of the store. And remember that our back entrance is still closed to the public at this time. Please check our Facebook page for any updates on over-the-counter and gift shop items. Our home medical equipment department is ready to help you with any of your CPAP needs, mobility, bathroom safety, lift chairs, and any diabetic needs to include meters, test strips, and shoes. Please call us with any questions you may have about any of our services or message us on our Facebook page. We are located at 139 East Main Street in downtown Forest City. Our phone number is 828-245-4591.
It's Hometown Holiday Festival time in downtown Forest City. Reserve your own private horse-drawn carriage for a ride under the lights along historic Main Street. Carriage rides will be available Friday and Saturday nights through December 19th. Carriages can seat 4 adults or fewer adults, plus additional children. Carriage rides are $40 for 15 minutes. Reservations must be made at exploreforestcity.com. No waiting in lines. The ice skating rink will be available Friday and Saturday nights from 6 p.m. until. Cost is $8. Stroll through Pops and view the largest lighted ornament in the region. While in town, be sure to visit our local restaurants and shops on Main Street. It truly is Hometown Holiday Festival time in beautiful downtown Forest City. Christmas is just around the corner. If you haven't visited Cozy on Main, located inside the former Graham Cash store on Main Street in Forest City, there's no better time than Christmas time. They have a huge assortment of Christmas pillows, throws, kitchen and bath towels, placemats, table runners, flannel sheets, old-fashioned quilts, mattress pads, comfy bed and floor pillows, baby blankets, and much more. Cozy on Main also does monogramming, a popular favorite for just about everyone. A nice and friendly staff to help you look for exactly what you want. That's Cozy on Main in the former Graham Cash building on Main Street, Forest City. Tell them WCAB sent you.
You know, if you sneaked a peek at Santa's list, right at the top would be smart shoppers shop at Butler's Jewelry and Loan in Forest City. Here's why. A full supply of guns of all sizes and plenty of ammunition. It is the headquarters for long guns and handguns. Have questions? See the experts at Butler's. In addition, giving jewelry to that special someone is a smart choice. Plenty of beautiful jewelry to choose from, with free gift wrapping, too. Butler's is happy to announce that Tony Hefner is now at Butler's, handling all the repair work. Butler's will have extended hours doing carriage ride nights. Thanks, Santa, for suggesting we shop at Butler's Jewelry and Loan, one of our locally owned homegrown businesses in downtown Forest City. 9:05 this morning, My Great America with Jim and Butch. It is indeed a great America and a great day to talk about America. And we'll do that here coming up in a few moments here on 100.9 FM, 590 AM. Rand Paul, you know him, Senator Rand Paul from Kentucky. He points to 4 wild data dumps that put Biden ahead. Fraud. Senator Rand Paul, is urging Americans to take a close look at the early morning hours after Election Day when vote dumps in 4 states put Joe Biden ahead of President Trump. Statistically anomaly, he said. Fraud. Paul wrote on Twitter, look at the evidence and decide for yourself. That is, if big tech allows us to read it. In fact, Twitter allowed the post, but slapped on an editorial comment saying this claim about election fraud is disputed. But Paul only raised the question of fraud after asking readers to look after detailed information from researchers and judge for themselves. BizPac Review noted Paul was questioning the statistical linking to an article on vote spikes favoring Biden that occurred in the early morning hours of November the 4th. The analysis by Vote Pattern Analysis explained the spikes decisively improved Biden's position in Michigan, Wisconsin, and Georgia. Much skepticism and uncertainty surrounds those vote spikes. Critics point to suspicious vote counting practices, extreme differences between the 2 major candidates' vote counts, and the timing of the vote updates. So, Senator is from Kentucky Rand Paul is making an issue of the fact that it's almost impossible for it to turn out the way it turned out. Meanwhile, charging the Democratic Party carried out a coordinated nationwide conspiracy to steal the 2020 election, Trump campaign lawyers declared Thursday at a press conference in Washington that they have evidence they will present in court proving the president won the election. Rudy Giuliani, who now has been diagnosed with the COVID, said, we cannot allow these crooks, because that's what they are, to steal an election from the American people. They elected Donald Trump. They didn't elect Joe Biden. Joe Biden is in the lead because of the fraudulent ballots, the illegal ballots that were produced and were allowed to be used after the election was over. This is Giuliani talking. Give us an opportunity to prove it in court, and we will, he said after presenting details of some of the evidence for more than an hour. Giuliani was accompanied by Trump's senior legal advisor, Jenna Ellis, and campaign lawyer Sidney Powell, who claimed the team has evidence that as many as 7 million votes were flipped or awarded to Biden through a code in electronic voting machines. Powell said this is heartbreaking, infuriating, and the most unpatriotic acts I can even imagine for people in this country to have participated in any way, shape, or form. We're going to clean this mess up, she said. Well, it's still out there on the hearts and minds of people whether or not it's how much of all of that is actuality, how it's going to be proven. We don't know. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there, but there's a lot of folks who make a lot of sense when they bring these issues forward and they can back it up. They make a lot of sense. It's these folks way out here that's bringing in folks who are just theorizing. It's the ones that we have difficult believing. But meanwhile, during all this, Fox News is losing a lot of their support and viewership. This issue from WorldNet Daily said Fox News loses to MSNBC for the first time since 2001. Now, you know MSNBC is so far left you can't even find them. But they have now beat Fox News out. Amid a rating slide since Election Day, the Fox News Channel's morning show Fox and Friends and its daytime programming lost to rival MSNBC for the first time since 2001, according to Adweek. MSNBC's Morning Joe, hosted by Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, drew an average of 1.6 million total viewers for the previous week compared to 1.4 million for Fox and Friends. The Wrap reported MSNBC also beat Fox News for the first time since 2001 in its daytime coverage, weekdays 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. MSNBC averaged 1.64 million total dayside viewers to Fox News 1.52 million, representing growth for MSNBC of 30% from the week prior to the election. The Fox News lineup slipped 33% from the final week of October 2020. The ratings dip for Fox News began with the network calling Arizona for Joe Biden early, then declaring Biden president-elect, while the Trump campaign challenges the results in battleground states, contending it has a path to victory. Fox News is continuing saying Trump lost. In prime time and in total day over a 24-hour period, the Wrap reported Fox News beat MSNBC with personalities Tucker Carlson and Sean Hannity leading the way. Carlson, Hannity, and host Laura Ingraham continue to give time to the Trump campaign's election fraud claims. They're the only ones that are. The conservative blog Red State said Republicans have grown tired of being lectured and insulted by some of Fox News anchors. We've seen it with Chris Wallace, Neil Cavuto, and Sandra Smith caught on a hot mic. More recently, we saw Leland Verter lose his mind on a Trump surrogate. Republicans don't need a news network that lies to them. They do need one that doesn't needlessly insult them and their viewpoints. So Fox has got a lot of healing to do to make up for the ones they've lost of their conservative viewership. So we'll see what's all going to turn out. We just have to be diligent and continue living our lives and thinking positive and working toward conservative principles and Judeo-Christian values. We can continue doing those kind of things in spite of the negatives that are biting us, trying to bite us on our behinds to slow us down. We got news coming up here in a few moments for a Tuesday morning continuation of the broadcast throughout the day today. As I mentioned, starting next week, we'll go all Christmas music. We got a lot of Christmas music. We'll try not to play the same thing back to back over and over again. And we're taking your requests via your cards that are sent in to be in the drawing for the recliner to be given away Christmas Eve. The Recliner Center, again, giving away a nice, beautiful recliner to one of our lucky listeners. Just get your card sent in to us to Post Office Box 511, Rutherfordton 28139, and they'll be put together. And we read those cards. We appreciate the nice comments many of you are making. We read those and relish those, and thank you so very much for them. And then they'll all go in the bug box together, and on Christmas Eve morning, we'll have the drawing for that recliner. So your opportunity to win is here on WCAB. And your opportunity to win big money is yours with a raffle ticket from the Chamber of Commerce. Check with us on that if you like. Meanwhile, we're going to step out of the way, get out of the blue room for a few moments, make room for My Great America with Jim and Butch coming up in just a few moments.
WCAB.
From ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. As Pfizer prepares to sit down with the FDA and discuss its COVID vaccine this week, U.S. health officials have posted a review of the shots, offering the first detailed look at the shot's safety and effectiveness. It's standard procedure for documents related to an advisory committee meeting to be published 48 hours in advance. Now, the first COVID vaccine starting to be doled out this morning in Britain. ABC's Julia McFarlane in London with more on the woman first in line.
Patient A can now be revealed as a 90-year-old grandmother from Northern Ireland, Margaret Keenan from Enniskillen. She was vaccinated in Coventry Hospital in England. She was seen today getting her vaccine. She said she was very, very grateful to all the doctors and nurses who made her feel very comfortable.
The second shot went to a man named Bill Shakespeare. The White House passed up a chance last summer to pre-order additional doses of a vaccine here. Here's ABC's Aaron Katersky.
In July, Pfizer offered to sell the United States tens of millions of additional doses of its vaccine, but the Trump administration declined. On Good Morning America, Dr. Monsef Slawi, Operation Warp Speed's chief science advisor, defended the administration's approach.
No one reasonably would buy more from any one of those vaccines because we didn't know which one would work and which one may be better than the other.
Recently, the administration went back to Pfizer asking for the additional doses, only to be told they're already destined for other countries. Aaron Katersky, ABC News, New York.
Neither Moderna nor Pfizer representatives will be at a vaccine summit being held at the White House today. The Biden transition team won't be there either. They weren't invited, but they're moving ahead anyway.
Joe Biden today is officially rolling out his health care team, including his nominee to be Health and Human Services Secretary, Javier Becerra. Dr. Anthony Fauci will stay on in his role at the NIH and serve as Biden's chief medical advisor on the COVID-19 pandemic. Fauci will be a part of Biden's event today, not the White House vaccine summit.
ABC's Karen Travers. You're listening to ABC News.
Balance of Nature's fruits and vegetables in a capsule, changing the world one life at a time.
I think for older people, I think they really need to understand that this product will give you the energy that you need to sustain throughout a day. Right now, I just can't hardly make it through the day if I don't start my day out taking 3 of each every day. Yeah, I'm a flag waver for the product. I believe in it. I know it's helping me. I feel I'm more satisfied that I've got my energy level for the day. And, you know, for the last 2 weeks, I've been working over at my mom's house to get it ready to sell. It's just unbelievable. I guarantee you, if you saw me compared to the rest of the guys that are 74, you'd think them boys is ready for the couch. And I'm going strong all day long and have been for quite some time now.
Balance of Nature is now offering 35% off on any new preferred order. Go to balanceofnature.com today and use discount code FRUITS.
Today marks an important deadline in the presidential election. ABC's Mark Remillard explains.
The safe harbor deadline is the day by which states must certify their elections and select the winning slate of electors. It's an important day for states because meeting this deadline ensures their electoral votes will be counted by Congress. In 2000, the safe harbor deadline played a role in the outcome of the contested election between George W. Bush and Al Gore, as the Supreme Court issued a ruling on Safe Harbor Day that effectively ended Florida's recount because the court said it could not be completed by the safe harbor deadline. Mark Remillard, ABC News.
A police detective in Hartford, Connecticut's been demoted and is facing departmental charges after proposing a betting pool on the location of the city's first murder in 2021. The cop also being suspended without pay for 4 months. Trump administration's push to ban downloads of the short video app TikTok blocked for a second time by a federal judge. The president calls the app, which is owned by a Chinese company, a national security threat. One of Hollywood's most prominent movie makers is slamming streaming plans. Christopher Nolan, whose movie Tenet came out in theaters in the midst of the pandemic this year, is now criticizing plans by Warner Brothers. The studio says it will premiere movies next year in theaters and on its streaming service on the same day. Nolan says it's, quote, not right and not a good business decision. This is ABC News.
Ready to create your own income with your own home-based business where there's no such thing as getting laid off? If a billionaire entrepreneur spent 5 years and $20 million searching for the next big trend, wouldn't you want to know what he found? If you're serious about making money from home without having to leave home, then write this down. www.goherenext.com. You decide your income. Get the facts now. GoHereNext.com.
I'm Sherry Preston, ABC News.
We're going to head into the mid to upper 40s for today with plenty of sunshine around, all thanks to high pressure in place. As we head into tonight, our wind speeds are going to back off. With clear skies and lighter winds, we are going to see temperatures fall all the way down into the upper 20s and lower 30s. For tomorrow, it's going to be slightly warmer. Highs will head into the low to mid 50s and a few high clouds will build in. The next best chance for rain will be this weekend. I'm meteorologist Peter Sherwood in the Weather Center.
Well, it's jumped up already above the freezer locker stage. We're 34 now. We started out at 28, climbing real fast now that the sun is broken through the clouds and getting up to 49 for a daytime high, which is not warm, but light wind, so it's not going to be too bad out there. Pretty pleasant. Tonight we're dropping back to 27, about where we were this morning at early hours. So let's enjoy the coolness of the evening and the warmth of the day. And Christmas time's coming real soon, and I know you'll be out and about, so please drive carefully wherever you're going. And when you shop, please shop at home as often as you possibly can and support our local folks because they're struggling with the COVID-19 experiences. They're struggling, so they need our support here at home. So when you can, shop at home this year. It's 5 minutes after 9.
It's time now for My Great America with Jim and Butch, a conversation about positive things about this great country. And now here are Jim and Butch.
Well, good morning, Butch. Welcome back to the Blue Room.
Thank you so much. You've got your blue sweater on. You've got that check blue shirt on, and we're in the Blue Room. If people can see it, there's blue everywhere. But you know what? We're not blue.
No, we're not blue.
We're not going to blue. And you know what? We're not going to be blue. And you know, Jim, I found myself this morning just reflecting on simple joys, simple pleasures. You know, it gets cold, and right across the street you see all of those folks getting ready to work, and the exhaust is making some steam there. I've mentioned it before. You get Camp Electric. You get their fleet of trucks that are ready to go, and everybody's out there with their coffee, and they're getting ready to be dispatched out to wherever they're going to go. And you know, there are simple pleasures in life, and right now, we have got so many people whose hearts are failing them for fear because they've anchored their hope in the wrong thing. I remember when we lived in Dallas, and by the way, just real quickly, we've got an honorary sponsorship today. This is going to be sponsored by Everything Must Go in Gaffney. If you haven't been to the Yellow Mall and seen the incredible binge shopping experience with those Amazon returns, Lowe's, Home Depot, Target, Gaffney's fastest growing store. You need to get down there, Jim. I will be there on Friday and Saturday, and if you come up and say, "Hey, I listen to My Great America with Jim and Butch," I'll give you a shout out. I'm on the microphone there and try to encourage the customer experience. So on Friday or Saturday, it's where the old Ann Taylor was at the Yellow Mall in Gaffney. You come say hello to Butch, the only gainfully employed person named Butch, perhaps, in Rutherford County.
I heard some good positive things about some folks who have already visited that store. They were there, and they talk about how amazing it is to get so many good things at such a low price.
Well, if you love treasure hunting, it's a great opportunity. And you know what, folks? It's great to see families come in. Now, we will have to park your stroller. You have no idea what kind of grace you need to go into, that place of grace, when you tell a discouraged, overwrought mother with 3 children and also a child in a stroller, "I'm sorry, you can't bring that stroller inside." You got to go to a real deep place of encouragement there. But we'd love to see you. So come to Everything Must Go there in Gaffney at the Yellow Mall. It's where the old Ann Taylor was, right on the corner. But you know, Jim, we've got so many people whose hearts are failing them for fear because they have anchored their hearts in the wrong place. I remember what it was like when we lived in Dallas. And people had the rhythm there of their life. They would go to church, go to their favorite restaurant, and then watch the Dallas Cowboys play. That was kind of life there. And you cannot imagine how discouraged and depressed a lot of people were on a Monday if the Cowboys lost on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
It's just crazy. It's crazy, which is why this morning I was remembering again those incredibly powerful words in John chapter 14, where Jesus was comforting his disciples. You know, earlier in the book of John, he had predicted his betrayal. He had already had that incredible story of Mary anointing his feet, his triumphal entry. You know, Jesus was foretelling his death. All of that had already happened. Then Jesus comes to John chapter 14 and says, "Do not," and this is a word for us today, Do not let your heart be troubled, afraid, and cowardly. Believe confidently in God and trust in him. Have faith, hold on to, rely on it. Keep going and believe also in me, because in my Father's house are many dwelling places. If it were not so, I would have told you, because I'm going there to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I'm going to come back and I will take you to myself, so that where I am, you may be also. That's what gives us peace. And to the place where I am going, you know the way. And of course, Jesus was surrounded by naysayers. We're surrounded by naysayers in the culture that we're in today, and particularly the political environment. So Thomas said to him, Lord, we do not know where you're going. So how can we know the way? And Jesus said to him, I am the only way to God, and the real truth, and the real life. No one comes to the Father but through me. Our peace is going to be found in Jesus. It's going to be found in God's Word and in God's truth. It's not going to be what our favorite prognosticator is saying on our favorite cable channel, is it, Jim?
Isn't it sad, though, when people look from all other directions, the tarot cards and the witches and these folks who supposedly can read your palm, and we look for everything else except the real source. We need to keep the real thing the real thing.
We need, and you often say that, we need to keep the real thing, and we also need to remember that God's Word is unshakable, it's true, it's infallible. The seasons come, the seasons go, political parties come, political parties go. If our hope is built on nothing less than Jesus' blood and righteousness, then we're going to have a foundation that's not going to be affected by what the latest polls say, Jim. And I really feel like it's a time for us to hearken again back to some of the principles here. You know, our presidents with different religious backgrounds had this unbroken set of common beliefs. Listen to this. Here's John Adams declaring a day of fasting during a threatened war with France. The citizens of the United States, abstaining on that day from their customary worldly occupations, need to acknowledge before God the manifold sins and transgressions. As individuals and a nation, we need to beseech him, through the Redeemer of the world, freely to remit all our offenses and to incline us by his Holy Spirit to a place of sincere repentance and reformation. That's one of our presidents, March 23rd, 1798. James Madison, November 16th, 1814. After the British burned down the Capitol, can you imagine what the impact was on the country? Our Capitol's burned down. This is what he said. In the present time of public calamity and a war, a day may be recommended to be observed by the people of the United States as a day of what? Humble adoration and repentance to the great sovereign of the universe, a confessing of our sins and transgressions, and of strengthening our vows of repentance. November 16th, 1814, James Madison. Woodrow Wilson, in a time of war, this was May 11th, 1918, during World War I. In a time of war, we humbly as a nation and devoutly acknowledge our dependence on Almighty God and to implore his aid and protection. And then, of course, the inimitable Ronald Reagan, August 23rd, 1984, at the Ecumenical Prayer Breakfast in Dallas, Texas. America needs God more than God needs America. If we ever forget that we are one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. You know, our history is pregnant with the Word of God, with the declarations of God, and with our presidents of different sorts of political persuasions, all acknowledging at the end of the day, when the lights go down in the White House, I don't know everything. I need the help of God. And Jim, we've lost so much of that, haven't we?
We sure have. It's amazing, though, how God can put people in the right place at the right time. And such as our founding fathers and what they had to say about God and prayer and how important that is, if we take our eye off of that same target and here again, elect people and support people who have that Judeo-Christian mindset, that Judeo-Christian heart, then we're going to move in the right direction. If we support them, if we tear it down, we're going to stumble and make some bad mistakes.
No question. And you know what, folks? This is not to rattle any cages. It's just to give truth to you. I am holding in my hands a document that was drafted and sent to President-elect Biden. That's all we're going to say. President-elect Biden, This is unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was reading this morning. I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to leave a copy of this with Jim. A group of Democrats in the House and the Senate, along with some advisors, have drafted something for the president-elect and for the vice president titled Secular Democrats of America. This is an official document. Restoring Constitutional Secularism and Patriotic Pluralism in the White House. This is their war plan, and we have a copy of it.
Yeah.
We have a copy of it. Let me tell you, among other things, what's in here. It's unbelievable. We urge you to lead our nation on a path that revives the founders' vision of religious freedom in the broadest sense in our government and promotes a unifying patriotic pluralism, not any kind of dogmatic religious chauvinism in American society. We believe that this is a moment not only to enact policies to advance constitutional secularism, but to position the Democratic Party to take back the mantle of religious freedom and pluralism from the Republican Party. This is a war plan, folks. Listen to this. We urge you not to underestimate the institutional strength of what we refer to interchangeably in this document as the Christian nationalist movement or the religious right. You know who that is? Us.
Yes.
This movement is extraordinarily well-funded and well-organized, and the manifestation of its extreme and sectarian agenda is on constant display under the Trump-Pence administration. Its political ideology is anti-democratic, anti-scientific. It provides constant cover for white supremacy, and it advances a reactionary economic policy, tax policy, dominionist view of the environment that undermines our capacity and will to address the climate crisis. Its agenda rests on a pinched interpretation of biblical principles preached by white Christian nationalist leadership and thought leaders with their political agenda sanctioned by a higher power. Their base of support is disciplined, motivated, and deeply committed to a vision that is not aligned with our basic constitutional values and democratic principles. This is a 22-page document, Secular Democrats for America, and it is an expectation that what they put in here will be implemented by the next administration. Jim, what do you think about that?
And they're already coming
That's your
forward.
copy.
Oh, thank you. They're already coming forward and telling him, President-elect in quotes, that we supported you. Now it's time for you to pay us back. We want you to do these kinds of things and lead us further to the left, lead us further away from the Judeo-Christian values, because we supported you. We gave you our vote. Now it's time for you to do something for us. And that's a scary place to be in America.
Well, it really is, because what you have is you've got a number of fractional groups that are coming forward saying, we helped elect you, and now it's time to pay the piper.
Yeah.
And there's this sense of so many different groups that are saying, you know what, now is our time to dismantle a lot of the gains that have been made under the Trump administration. And folks, we were saying this 6 months ago, and it's not to pronounce any kind of fear or any kind of disquiet on the parts or the hearts of people. But the reality is there can be a rebooting and a rewinding of many of the advances that have taken place rather quickly. And when you look at core constitutional freedoms like the right to bear arms, freedom of speech, the protection, the active protection of religious freedoms in this country, all you have to do is look at the culture wars that are being played out as it relates to the assembling of churches across the country. And that is the canary in the coal mine. You know, we have not, that whole metaphor, the canary in the coal mine, they used to release a canary into the coal mine to see if it would come back out. Why? Because they wanted to determine if there were noxious gases that were in there. Well, the flocks of canaries have been released into the coal mines of this country, and we don't have canaries coming back out again. Why? Because the putrefying sores of a nation that has not taken hold of its own offenses. I say it often, the blood and the cry, the screams of more than 60 million fetuses aborted since Roe v. Wade are not something that God is indifferent about. Our culture has the stain. Our culture has the responsibility of offenses as a nation, and it's only going to be as we implore the living God to forgive our sins and to heal our land that will happen. So it's not a time for the faint-hearted at all. It's a time for people to be like the Black Robe Regiment, where you had pastors, like my pastor, octogenarian pastor, Jane Whale. I've never had a pastor the way that I have a pastor today that helps us deal with what? Deal with our sin, helps us deal with our offenses. We've just come out of a wonderful time of what we call a seminar talking about the love of God. We're called and compelled to love everybody. If we're discriminating in our love, if we're portioning out God's love in accordance to who we like, we're not reflecting the heart of Jesus. We're called to bring love to everyone. I think of my friend Pat Jobe, who's got a great article, by the way, in the Daily Courier this morning. We're so different, but we love each other. Why? Because Christ compels us. Jesus compels us to love everyone. And it's a great barometer of what's going on in our heart. If we find that we can easily disconnect, easily break off fellowship with people, even in our church, it's just wrong. We can't do that.
In that respect, in loving everybody equally, where is there in that point where we need to pull away from their philosophy or their anti-theology or their anti-Christ attitude? How do we pull away from that when we love each other?
Well, I'll give a practical example. David Wheeler said, "Will you vote for me?" And I said, "David, I love you, but no." And so love doesn't mean, love is not wishy-washy. Love doesn't mean that we take our convictions and pull the plug on them. One of the greatest acts of love is to be with somebody and say, you know what, I fundamentally disagree with you, and because I love and care for your soul, I want to bring truth to you. Indifference is one of the deadliest sins of all. If we say we just don't care, I don't care to go into that deep place. I'll often use the reference to the fact that if you really love people, you're willing to put on the hip waders and go into the dark, muddy, messy pools of their life. Why? Because that's what Jesus did. And Jesus called us to follow in his footsteps. So to answer your question directly and succinctly, and to nutshell it, when I'm with somebody where I know that there's a fundamental disagreement at a core level about values, I'm unapologetic in saying, you know that I love you, and I love you enough to tell you truth as I understand it from God's word. And we don't have to throw these invectives on social media. People get on social media. It's why I went off Facebook 3 years ago, and I had good instruction and direction from my pastoral leadership. Why would you waste all that time? Why would you open the door for people to attack? People get on there and scream at each other and feel like they've accomplished something. The Pew Research studies have made it very clear any kind of arguing on Facebook rarely changes the opinion of another person. All you do is you have fish that birds are better. Now, birds that stick together and flock together, that's what you get. You get people that are all piling on together. You don't get people that say, isn't that interesting? You know what? I think I'm going to change my opinion. It almost never happens.
Oftentimes we dig in deeper because they're of the polygon. We dig deeper and deeper. I'm going to stay where I believe. You can't change my mind.
Well, and one of the things that I'm a firm believer in too is that we've got to start with relationships. We can, if we stay in a conceptual world where all we're doing is throwing down thunderbolts of disagreement and not getting to know people and their stories and their lives. The Apostle Paul, I love the references I love the book of Acts, and I love the story of Paul. But in Acts 16 and 17, I love the story of him there before he delivered that apologetic for the gospel on Mars Hill, where it speaks that he was in the marketplace, engaging in conversations with people about anything they would talk about. What was he doing? Oh, I make reference to it. I'm not being loose here. He was doing market research. He was in the market he was hearing about the Epicureans and the Stoics. And then what did he do? He stood up on Mars Hill on the Areopagus and did what? He said, I have seen your loyalty to gods. I have seen how you're pursuing, this is my interpretation, your pursuit of deity, and I saw a statue to the unknown God, and I'm here to proclaim to you today who that is. It's just God works so powerfully through him because he took a touch point, a touchstone of something they were yearning for, and then he said, I'm here to tell you who that unknown God is. That's who we're called to be.
Brilliance. Brilliance. God sent brilliance.
God worked through him. And, Jim, one of the things in tears here recently that God's been reminding me of is, you know what, Butch? If you will just get out of the way, if you'll submit to me, if you'll live a righteous life with the help that I give you, if you will be holy as I'm holy, and if you will get outside of your own agenda. I spent so many years of my life, Jim, trying to make things happen. People would say, he's like a thunderbolt. He comes in and people get together and things. But you know what? It was in the arm of the flesh. It wasn't the power of God working through me. You have no idea the convicting, compassionate God who's been at work in my life to say, if you will just hear my voice and do my will, you will see powerful things that happen. It's the genesis of this little radio program that we have. It was on my heart because God put it on my heart, and then you and I met and we talked, and out of that grew what? Out of that grew our little My Great America with Jim and Butch, which we hope is a candle in the darkness that is encroaching upon us. Speaking of our WCAB family, I just need to say this real quickly. Two things. One, I miss you. I missed you a lot, and I got you. I know you like coffee. I got you a little mug that I brought back. So tell people what the mug says.
Friends are God's way of taking care of us.
Right.
I like that.
Yeah, and you know what? It's an upsized mug there too, Jim.
Yes.
And so you don't have to go back twice to get your coffee. You can get it once. And then I walked in, folks, and this was just so precious to me. Todd, we've only got a couple of minutes here. Todd handed me a little primer, How to Speak Southern. How to speak, and I'm just. I would be remiss if is it okay if I just read?
Yeah, you'll
okay.
love that.
How to Speak Southern. He was so sweet to give this to me. It's an incredible little book. For example, listen to this. Bomb. You know what bomb is? It's an explosive device dropped from airplanes called bombers. Or Birmingham. Oh, that's the largest city in Alabama. Or can't. That means cannot. I just can't understand why this checkbook won't balance. Carry, to convey from one place to another, usually by automobile. Can you carry me down to the store, y'all? Cent, the plural of cent. You paid $5 for that necktie? I wouldn't give 50 cents for it. Or cheer, a piece of furniture used for setting. Pull up a cheer and set a spell. Or chimbley, what smoke comes out of. I believe that chimbley stopped up. Or Coca-Cola, the soft drink that started in Atlanta and conquered the world. Here they even sell Coca-Cola in Russia. I'm looking forward to having this little primer here. And, Jim, we can look at the days that we're in, and we can be discouraged, and we can let ourselves be sucked into the quagmire of despair. Or we can set our affections on things above, not on things here in the earth, because we're dead and our lives are hidden with Christ in God. If you don't have a relationship with Jesus, you're going to find yourself pulled to one side of the road or the other. The only anchoring in a time of need, a time of trouble, a time of despair, a time of concern, the only finality to that peace that we all long for is going to come from having an active, vibrant, alive relationship with Jesus. Don't you believe that?
And that's what he asks of us, is to come unto me, and I will give you rest, and I will carry those heavy burdens for you. Just come unto me, all you that labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest.
And I could it's exactly right, and I could just give this as something that's a penetrating look into the obvious. The next time you're tempted to go on social media and find your comfort, don't. The next time you're tempted to get all lathered up by what's happening with the election, don't get on cable television. Go to God's Word. He has promised that as we put His Word in our heart, we won't sin. He's promised us that His Word will be a light unto our path and a lamp unto our feet. In the dark days that we're in, folks, days where we as followers of Jesus need to mobilize together, actively, aggressively, the war plan and the path is to be found in God's holy word. Take it off the shelf. Start reading it. Your life will change.
Absolutely. Thank you for that information, Butch, and God bless America.
God bless America.
Thank you for joining us for My Great America with Jim and Butch. Join us each Tuesday and Thursday morning at 9:05 for this enlightening program on 100.9 FM and 590 AM. It's My Great America with Jim and Butch.